How y'all doing this evening? Today's topic of this video, this light is bright. It's really evening to my today. Hold on. I'm not gonna be able to talk to the camera like that, being blinded. Let me see, how's that looking? All right. The topic of this evening's video is, see, I forgot the topic of what I'm even. I got an idea. Okay. The topic of this evening's video is feeling guilty for leaving others behind. Feeling guilty for leaving others behind. That's the topic of tonight's video. I came about thinking about with this topic, thinking of times in my life where you're grateful for the assistance and those that are there for you and have been there for you. But what I found is it's not always reciprocated. So in other words, you being grateful of a person's time, the energy, they might not feel the same way about you. And I found this especially true when you're dancing to your own beat. You're proceeding on, you're achieving goals, you're bringing down barriers of things in your life. And when people feel like they're starting to be left behind, they'll try to make you feel guilty for it. Or they'll throw jabs at you, or they may even do things to discourage you. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to feel guilty about leaving people behind. Why don't you catch up? Now, unless we're supposed to be running this race together, meaning you and I have some sort of ties and dealings for whatever we're trying to move forward with, we have to do it together. And I'm really talking from the standpoint of a business, being on the same page of doing a business or running some sort of business together, then it's no need. I've said in one of my older videos, these aren't community goals. These are Aim goals. These are you goals. These are things that you have set off in the distance for you to achieve. It's one of the reasons why I talk about not having to let people in on everything that you're doing. Because when you're doing that, trying to achieve things and you're setting goals in your life, people are trying to hold your feet to the flame. Oh, I thought that you said that you were going to do. I thought that you said, what's going on with that? And more often than not, I found out when they're asking those type of questions with you, they're not even really checking up on you from the standpoint of, hey, let me cheer you on. Let me see how you're going from this standpoint. It's just really checking in from the standpoint of seeing how far along are you in what you said that you were going to do. And it can almost come off as somewhat of a jab. Like, see, told you weren't going to do what you were going to do. Back on the topic of this video, I want to keep this more so centered at what I'm saying. This is the reason why I'm going back to this, because it's going to branch off into a lot of different paths of what this looks like. Man, this light is bright. It's got me seeing stars. I found that when you're taking off, and I've said this in other videos, when you're taking off in your own direction and you're really, being fueled by your motivation and doing things, and it's like you're in the zone. And when you're productive and the way that you divvy up your time, you don't have time for the same things that you did ages ago, before you had these goals in place. So it's almost like it comes to a chopping block on, what do I need to do? Do I need to keep hanging on to this stuff that really doesn't have any payoff towards what I'm trying to do? And what I'm talking about with goals, it doesn't have to be monetary. It doesn't have to be some sort of status symbol up off in your life. Just talking about things that you're trying to accomplish and do. Are you aiding me or are you holding me back? That's why I said earlier on when I made the comment about talking about people being grateful. One of the things that spurred the topic of this video as well, I thought about And I think I said this in some of my other videos, just from a different way that I explained it, or a different point that I was bringing home. I used to make it my due diligence to take time out to try to put in everywhere that I thought, I should be putting in that. Because I just thought, hey, it was fair because of whatever label that it may have had on that relationship. Even though there was no return, it was nothing reciprocated, and oftentimes I felt drained. And like I said, to make a long story short, the situations I was dealing with, they were ungrateful. I was grateful. That was the reason why I was doing what I was doing. Not because there was some sort of debt that was owed, but I was grateful for the times or the energy that they had put into me in certain situations and things. But it wasn't reciprocated. They didn't respect my time. They didn't respect my energy. And no other way of saying it, to a degree, it felt like it was holding me back. So once I cut those bonds on those things and put more time into what I was trying to do, what I was trying to progress at, I found myself further ahead. This has nothing to do with feeling like you're better than anybody, or you're trying to run this race to beat them. You're running your own race. You're dancing to your own tune, as I stated earlier. What does it take for you to stay on beat? For you to stay on task? Not for you to keep up with others. Even though there are times in our life where you do have to have a dance partner, such as being in a relationship, other things. I don't even feel like putting the brain power, it's late. I don't even feel like putting the brain power in all the different things that I'm talking about where you may have a dance partner, but you know what I'm talking about. Like I said, business partner and whatever else. The times where there's an agreement, there's a commitment amongst individuals that, hey, we're moving this along together. When you don't have that agreement, you still, even when you do have that agreement, you still got your own stuff to take care of. You still got your own goals to accomplish. Even if it's within a business agreement, there's still things that you want to achieve and that you want to do. And it's still a way that you have to dig down deep to reach. It's still a way that you got to dig down deep, reach in to find that motivation for yourself to even move along, even if you're moving along as a group or a couple, whatever it is. Don't feel guilty about leaving others behind when you're progressing and being a better you, achieving those goals. I found people to try to make you feel guilty for that. What do you have to feel guilty for in being a better you? Moving past things. See, this is at the source of everything that I'm talking about getting pulled back in, because certain relationships have certain labels on it, and you're just getting roped back into the same minutia. And it's keeping you stationary. It's not the word I'm looking for. I was going to say stagnant. That wasn't the word I'm looking for either. Man, it's late recording these videos, but these are some topics that I want to get out and discuss while I have time to do them. It's stunting your growth, man. That's what I'm saying. It's stunting your growth. Some of these relationships stunt your growth for the things that you're trying to do. And feeling guilty is just another way for you to be stunted. Don't feel guilty on moving ahead. Now, I ain't talking about step on people, step on their backs and crush and steamroll over people. That ain't what I'm talking about. I think you get the gist of what I'm talking about. I'm done with this video. My name's Ayin. That was the topic of this evening's discussion. Stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. You have a good one.